Hi guys, part 2, reflective journal. Daniel Andrade, your dance educator over here, so bear with me. I was noticing and I was wondering that it's very interesting how this platform works, this kind of interaction works for all of us, because some students I really noticed that they had a hard time when there was like in-person classes, right? Like you have to count and you have to take in consideration like you are being watched by your teachers, by your peers, there is peer pressure, there is like, I'm not feeling comfortable with this, there is so many other aspects. So for example, it's like, let's say, I always give this example, even like if I was in the classroom as well, right? Like, oh, okay, so let's say that you're reading, fine. I'm reading over here. I can't fake reading all day long. When it comes to dancing, everything is so physical, everything is so present. There is no way you can actually fake it. I can't just like be reading upside down. No, it doesn't work. You can actually see it right away. So I think that somehow dancing can be a little bit or a lot intimidating for some learners if they don't think that they got this right. And as I was saying before, I am very critical of myself. I can only imagine that the students pass through the same thing. So I've also noticed though that for some other students, being just by themselves with me in front of a camera, they just bloom. It's like it was amazing. I had this student, I'm just gonna call the student Julissa because you guys are not gonna know who it is, but Julissa was so quiet when she was in person. And this has been such a great way, a great platform that I can actually see. Julissa has just like blown and she's shining because every time that I post a dancing class, she just responds. So I think that it has been very different than before. Like during this past 9 weeks, I was just like, how am I gonna differentiate? How I'm gonna create this? So I started by creating a dance unit, which would take like about 9 weeks. And I called it like a world tour. I was like, how can I create something that is accessible and that's really engaging for everybody? So I started creating the world tour. Just like every week I would take the students to a different part of the world, create and give them the historical background. And after that, just like give the 5 ages and 1 HW, just like I told them like what we were learning, who were the people who were influentials, or what we call the people who danced to that dance. Also like where did it came from, when did it started, and why did people dance to it. And also I added, of course, the how do they do it. It's like, and I know that years from now I'm gonna look at this video and go like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous, right? But I had to start somewhere, and I just had to make peace with myself and just say like, you know what, go. And yes, I started receiving a lot of responses from the students, and I was asking and wondering like, am I doing enough? Is this enough? It's like, is this reaching? Is anybody watching me? Is anybody watching me over there? And then just like realizing I had 21 classes, and one of the classes I didn't have a chance to teach in person, but I extended myself to teach them online. And one of my students, that I'm not gonna say much over here, but it was just like an ITI class, kind of just like students with different ability, with diverse abilities. He actually replied, and when I'm gonna call the student here Noah, and Noah, if you're watching, you know it's you, but I'm not gonna say more than that. And when Noah replied, I was like, yes, am I doing enough? Yes, this is enough, this is necessary, this is important, this is meaningful, and people are watching, so I better step up to the plate because the students need this, right? And I think it was very important, very satisfying to see that this was bringing joy to a lot of students as well. I had another student that she was in kindergarten and she was not responding to anything. So they reached out from the school to me and said like the parent was concerned. She didn't want to have anything on YouTube, or she didn't want her kid to open any account, any apps, any device. I was just like, I don't require anybody to open an account on any device. It's more like I want to be able to interact, right? So I made a phone call with a kid. Then finally she got me into an app. She got me to do, made a video call. I made like a in-person, kind of like online dance class with her, and I just shared with her some videos that some teachers were actually sending it to me too. Yeah, so it started like small, but every week I started compiling like these videos for the whole school and sharing with my principal, my assistant principal, with the parents, with whoever wanted to watch them. And to my surprise, the assistant principal and the principal really enjoyed them. And they actually asked if the teachers could do one also for the kids. And this kid, when I called her, she looked so sad, just like she looked a little bit depressed. And when I called her and I showed two videos of two teachers dancing, she just like lit up. It was just like medicine for her eyes. And I just saw another time again when I'm questioning myself, and this is the difficult and the hard part for me. It's just like, am I doing enough? Is this good? And is anybody watching me? It's like the answer is yes. There were a lot of people watching me, and that was very important for a lot of kids that were getting depressed to be able to break through. It's like the dancing was not only good for their body, it was also good for their mind and also good for their heart. We as dancing educators, we know that, but being able to testify to this and say this actually live in front of me, it was mind-blowing. And yeah, I think this is very good reflection for right now.